But now we are just getting a lot of policies in place, but we don't know how they are going to be driven to a point where it will be successful.
Hello, welcome to Novel TV Live with Lily Kevin. Today we're going to be looking at the hike in school fees in federal colleges. Yeah. Now, recently, federal government has increased the price of school fees in federal schools, and this has actually got parents asking questions. What exactly is the fee hike for? A school that pays 47,000 naira now has been increased to 100,000 naira. And people are wondering, is this actually because of the fuel subsidy that has been removed? Or is this something else? But whatever the reasons may be, is it actually okay? Is it actually fair on students and also parents to increase fair price amidst what the state, the society is going through? Now, most people are actually passing through a rough time trying to balance the situation as regards to fuel subsidy removal, which has caused a hike in price of commodities, goods, and services. And now it has affected the school children. Are parents willing to still allow their children go to school, or will so many people drop out? But first and foremost, let's look at the hike. Is it actually necessary? And what exactly is the hike for? Joining me on this conversation is Mr. Augustine Omino. Good to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, now we just read about the federal government hike in school fees. What's your take on that? Is it actually okay for the hike? And secondly, what exactly is the hike for? What exactly are they doing to increase, or what's the main purpose for increasing school fees in federal colleges?
Yes, you see, when I learned about this increase in school fees, by federal government, in federal government colleges or secondary schools, even at the university level also, what immediately came to my mind was the fact that we are in a country now where the economy and administrative structures are not coordinated properly. The reason is because when we hear on one hand that the federal government is trying to provide palliatives, to kind of cushion the effect of the pump price of fuel removal, and and all that. One expects that from the government perspective, they should be doing some things that will enable the citizenry to actually survive without necessarily, getting more pains in their economic survival.
Okay.
Now, there is an organization, the Federal Government Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. This commission recently came up to say that market women or people that sell food items at arbitrary prices will be clamped down upon, because federal government abhors the arbitrary increase of on food items. Now, some of us, when we heard it, we were clapping, which means these people are private investors, private owners, people that suffer, people that go to the bank to obtain loans to now produce. And now you want to now force them to sell at your own price. Okay. Meanwhile, the federal government that is now trying to checkmate people, private people now, increasing prices, are now coming back to say their own school fees will be increased. Now, how do you compare that now to what the federal government is proposing? For me, is irresponsible economists coming to play.
Okay.
Because if the federal government colleges are to be doing anything now, it's supposed to be reducing school fees. So that for now, parents will say, well, yes, I'm not able to buy fuel, but I'm able to pay school fees. But now you cannot buy fuel. You are suffering the pains of buying fuel. You're also suffering the pains of increased school fees. Meanwhile, federal government want to clamp on you because you are selling food items. They don't want you to sell at the price at which you now bought and sell. They want to ensure that you don't make as much profit as you ought to, because you want to base your profit on how much you have invested. So to me, it doesn't really make sense.
Okay. Now, some persons think that this policy of the loan, the student loan, to help students to to go to school, the loan after which you pay after some years. Some people think that it's a sham. Now, if you have that loan, I don't know, how do you correspond it? How do you marry it? The hike, and then you bring a loan. I don't know what it's like. They're trying to play on our intelligence or something.
No. To be fair to government, it's a very welcome development for the government to actually institute that kind of arrangement, because
But not everybody can benefit from that.
No. It's not for everybody.
Okay.
Because even as of today, there's a university in the US, for example, Howard University. That Howard University, for instance, is mainly populated by blacks. The moment you step your foot or your feet in America and you get admitted even in that school, why I'm using this as an example is that talk less of a white dominated university.
Okay.
Now, in this university, even if you don't have money to pay your school fees, the federal government of America is ready to give you grants that you may not be able to pay until you graduate from the university. That's one side. And the second side of it is that the university will be ready to give you employment in the university so that you'll be working and be paying.
But that's it.
So those are palliative. Those are palliative.
Those are palliative already provided for that purpose.
For that
but now in Nigeria, what palliative do they have?
Yes.
How can people go to that school, when they graduate, they'll be able to get a job and then pay back the loan?
Yes.
So many people will falter if you ask me.
Yes. So in the US, when you graduate from schools, and you actually benefited from these grants, they give you opportunity to work for 1 year and start paying back.
Okay.
Yes. But the problem now in Nigeria is, what is the guarantee that when you graduate from Nigerian university and maybe you schooled with a loan, you're able to get a job
and pay
back?
Yeah.
What is also the guarantee that the Nigerian insincerity propensity will not come to play in your life? Because some persons will get the money, they will get the grant, they will get loan, whatever it is they will get, even after schooling and they get employed, they will still run away from Nigeria to US and they will not pay the money. So how is the government going to actually ensure that this laudable project comes to fruition? How do you track the people? And that is where we now come to a question of, is it the president that is going to run all the policies alone? Because some of all these policies are now being introduced by the president without the input of the Minister of Education, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Economic Planning. Because if all these people are involved, it means that they will make provision for all these things to be followed up. So if at the end of the day now you employ or you appoint a Minister for Education who is not privy to your introduction of all these policies, he or she may not be in a position to actually run it well for you. If you bring an economic planning minister, so we are waiting for a situation where the federal government is able to put in place personalities, appointees, authorities to actually help the federal government to run these things with a kind of a clear-cut instructions or directions on how this is to be done, so that if it's not feasible, you stop it before you commence. But now we are just getting a lot of policies in place, but we don't know how they are going to be driven to a point where it will be successful.
Okay. Now, so how would you explain this hike? Would you say it's okay?
No.
Fees to be increased?
No, I can't wait for it.
How do you think it will affect parents?
Yeah. We are in now for a time where parents will begin to withdraw their children from school. But meanwhile, there's a way out. And the way out is that the federal government, the state governments should now begin to revive the public schools.
Okay.
Because none of the I don't know, I stand to be corrected. Most of the public schools, particularly in the villages, pupils and students from such places cannot compete or can no longer compete with pupils from allied schools at in township, when it comes to common entrance examinations and the competitive examinations. So if you now revamp these public schools at the local level, then parents will have choice. It's either you send your children to schools where they pay high school fees, or you remain in villages or places where government is able to allow you to pay minimal school fees.
Well, but don't be surprised though. Most pupils in these public schools, they're very, very intelligent, more intelligent than even people in the allied schools. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, no, they are.
We've got so many talents there.
No, I was a student of a public school.
Okay, you see, and you are a brain.
Yeah, so I know what it is. But now it is no longer the same because the teachers in public schools because of they are not encouraged enough.
Well, I still want to believe we still have brains.
We still have, yes. So public schools should be encouraged to actually produce without which they have been doing in the past, so that the competition would be now less for parents to send their children to private schools and schools where they pay high school fees.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Augustine Umindo. But what's your take on that? The increase in federal schools hike, the increase in their school fees. What's your take? Do you think this is a welcome development? Do you think it will affect parents and also make students to drop out of school? What exactly is your opinion? I'd like to read that at the comment section. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share Novel TV Live. I am Lily Kevin.